Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living. Hello, my friends. Do you love Heidi, Cherry, and Vaya? And you would love if you got exclusive stories that weren't available anywhere else. If you join my Patreon Cat Club, you will get 3 stories every month for $7 on the 7th of every month. If you want to join the club and it's okay with your guardians or your parents, then follow the link below and become a patron and join the Cat Club. Namaste, my little friends. Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Are you ready to be still and quiet so that you can let go of your day? Relax your body and listen to a story. And then eventually you'll fall to sleep, maybe listening to the music. Heidi, Cherry, and Vaya were having a lazy day. They didn't feel like doing very much at all, so they just laid in their bedroom with the windows open. And there were lots of birds singing outside. It was springtime. All the new flowers were popping up, the colours, the smells. It was Cherry's favourite time of year. She was super excited about summer coming, but she loved spring. She was laid on the bed and she had 2 paws behind her head, just looking up out of the window, watching the birds. They had a tree outside of their window, so all the birds were on the tree singing. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. You know, there's so many times I just lay here in this particular spot and I think, I'm so lucky. I am so lucky. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful to just be in this house. I mean, how many times do you really think about having a roof over your head and being grateful for the roof over your head? Most people just think, oh yeah, I'm going home, and they complain about the bedroom, or they complain about the dinner, or they complain about having to have a shower, or they complain about whatever they're complaining about. And I just think, stop complaining and think about how grateful you are. Because you know, when you're grateful, life is so much better, don't you think, girls? Both Vaya and Heidi agreed. Definitely, said Heidi. It's always nicer when you can be grateful about things. Well, I'm grateful, said Cherry. I am that grateful. But you know what? This might sound a little bit ungrateful, but do you ever think about being somebody else or being like a completely different animal? I do a lot, Heidi said. Oh, I have an animal that I'd like to be. Cherry said, what? Heidi said, I'd really like to be a sloth. Sloths always seem so comfortable. Have you noticed? And if you're a sloth, you're so chill. You just chill. You chill in the trees, you eat really slow, you move really slow. There's no rush, no anxiety, no stress. I could just laze about in trees all day, read books, and eat really good food. Cherry started laughing. I could totally see you being a sloth. You do look kind of like a sloth. Sloth with glasses. You'd look so awesome as a sloth. You know what I'd like? I'd like that on a t-shirt. I bet you'd look so super cool. Heidi, in her glasses, as a sloth. Don't you think, Vaya? Don't you think? Vaya was painting her toenails. Me thinks so. Me thinks you would make a very good sloth. What would you want to be, Cherry? Cherry said, a bird. I'd really like to be a bird. Look at 'em, listen to 'em. The birds were singing all different tunes outside. Don't they sound lovely? I really wish I could sing like a bird. I know I'm a good singer. I know, guys, I am. I mean, you've heard me. Heidi and Vaya looked at each other a little bit suspicious, but, you know, who's to bust Cherry's bubble by telling her she doesn't sing that great? You know, guys, said Cherry, I am such a good singer, but if I was a bird, I'd be able to sing like a bird. like an angel. They just sing so nice, don't they? And they're singing away and talking to each other, and you think, I wonder what they're saying. I wonder what they're saying to each other. I wonder if they're saying, I like being a bird. I'm so glad I'm a bird and not a cat. Look at that cat laid around on that pillar down there through the window. She just looks so lazy and so limited. We're so limited. I mean, if you think about it, if you're a bird, you just couldn't do anything. You could go anywhere. You could just pack up your bags and leave. Well, you couldn't have that many bags because you won't be able to fly. But, you could just pack up your little tiny rucksack, put it over your wings, and you'd be off on your way to another place, another state, another town, another country. Maybe even another planet if you had supersonic wings and you could fly like a spaceship. You could land on the moon and you'd be like, yeah, I'm free. I'm so free. I'm so free because I'm a bird, and I've always wanted to really fly like a bird because they look so graceful, don't they? Cherry went on and on and on about being a bird. Heidi and Vaya just laid and listened. And then, if you were a bird, she said, you could be like, oh, I'm going to fly over China. And today, while I'm in China, I'm going to get the best Chinese food. And then you'd be like, oh no, I'm going to fly over India. Today, while I'm in India, I'm going to get the best Indian food. Heidi, you would take 10 million years as a sloth to get to China, whereas me, I'd just be able to fly there and get you Indian food. And then I'd fly back and say, there you go, Heidi, you little cute sloth, you. You're so cute. Yeah, enjoy your Chinese food. And then, oh, wait a minute, Vaya, what would you want to be? Vaya looked up at the sky. She checked out the birds outside, singing their songs, and thought about being a bird, and thought, no, not really. And then she thought about what she would really want to be, and then it came to her. I would be a deer. Me just thinks they're so beautiful, like Bambi. They walk so graceful. I would like to be a graceful deer in the middle of a forest. And then maybe a buck would come along like a prince, and he would rescue me. And he would rescue me from the bad, horrible hunters that was trying to hunt me and eat me for dinner. Cherry said, what? People eat deers? Vaya said, yes, unfortunately. It's called venison. Well, that's very fancy. It's a very fancy name. It sounds like you would eat deer in a very fancy restaurant. I mean, you wouldn't eat deer in like a supermarket, like food truck or something, would you? No, you probably. So that's at least. Actually, no, it's not very nice, is it? Poor deers. Do people eat sloths? Heidi said, I don't believe so, but you never know if they're hungry. Cherry said, OMG, my goodness gracious me. OMG, oh my golly, goodness gracious. You know what? People will eat anything, won't they? Did you know that sometimes they eat the weirdest things? Like, Cherry couldn't think of anything weird to eat in that moment. Heidi said, eyeballs. Cherry said, what? People eat eyeballs? Freya said, well, yes, unfortunately, I've heard of that. Yes. Cherry said, OMG, they're crazier than what I thought. Anyway, let's get talking about being an animal again because I really like that conversation. So, Vaya, you'd be a deer. What would you do as a deer? Vaya said, me would sing that song. Cherry said, what song? Vaya said, that one from that really nice movie that we like. The Sound of Music. Cherry said, oh, I know which one you mean. I really love that song. I could sing that song as if I was a bird, and you could sing that song as if you were a deer. And then Heidi could sing that song as if she was a sloth. Do sloths sing? Heidi said, I'm sure they can. Cherry said, oh, great. Okay, let's sing it. Cherry started to sing the song. Do, a deer, a female deer. Oh, I get it, said Cherry. That's so you, Vaya, that's so you. Vaya said, do, Cherry said, "Oh, you do sing that nice." Heidi said, "Ray, a drop of golden sun." Cherry said, "Me, a name I call myself." Vaya said, "Far, a long, long way to run." And they kept going on and on and on, singing the song, taking turns, different lines, bit by bit, until they sung all of the song that they liked from their favourite movie, The Sound of Music. At the end of it, Cherry laid contemplating, still with her paws behind her head, on how awesome it would be to be a bird. She announced that if she were a bird, the first place she would fly would, quite honestly, be to the beach. "I'd go to the beach," said Cherry. "I've been thinking about it. I don't think I'd fly to Hong Kong or China or India, because that's quite far, isn't it, for a little birdie bird and the little wings? I'd have to be a really big bird, or like a bird that lives closer to those places. I'm thinking, no, I'd fly to the beach. The beach is not that far away, and then I won't get that tired. And then if I were a bird, depending on what type of bird I were, I could be like a seagull, and I could eat anything. Oh, and then I'd be like people." No, I'd rather be one of those that just like dives into the ocean and catches like big fish and stuff. What are they called? Heidi said, "I think you mean a pelican or something like that." Cherry said, Yeah, one of them with really big beaks. And they can dive so good, can't they? I don't think I'd want to dive for a fish, though, because, like, poor fish, I don't want to get a fish. But then, we did used to eat fish, didn't we? But, now I don't know what I'd dive for. Maybe I'd dive for, like, special pearls. And then I'd make a pearl necklace and give it to you, Vaya, because you'd look so pretty in a pearl necklace. Vaya said, "Thank you, that's so sweet. Especially if I was a deer. A deer wearing a pearl necklace would look so pretty." Cherry said, "Yeah, they would. But then maybe the pearls would sparkle, and then the hunters would see the sparkle, and then the poor little deers would get, like, shot. And that wouldn't be good, would it? So no, I can't make you a pearl necklace if you're a deer. Maybe I could make, like, a shell. Mind you, some shells are very shiny, aren't they? Especially on the inside. I don't know what I'd do. But anyway, I want to be able to dive. And then when I dive under the ocean, maybe I'm one of those birds that don't stay a bird. Somehow magically I change and I become a fish. And then I become a really good swimmer. And then I swim in the ocean and I can swim with all the mermaids and all the special underwater creatures deep down below in the depths of the ocean. And then I could have like adventures in the sea. Just because I could fly, because I was a bird. Because a cat takes a long time to get to the beach. We have to walk. But a bird could fly to the beach and then you could turn into a fish. And then you could turn into like a mermaid, and then I could turn into like a whale, and then I could turn into like whatever I wanted. I think what I would be is a chameleon. Is that right, Heidi? Is that right? A chameleon's those animals that turn into different things. Heidi said, "Yes, that's right. They just turn their colours, though. They change colours. They don't really change into different types of animals." Oh, right then, that's a bit disappointing. "Well, said Cherry, I think I'm going to be one of those new kind of animals. I've decided. I'm not going to be a cat, not going to be a bird, not going to be a fish, not going to be a mermaid, I'm going to be a magical animal. A magical animal that you can only think up. One of those animals where I have an idea, I go, I'm going to be an octopus, and all of a sudden I am. Bam, I'm an octopus. I'm going to be a shark. Bam, I'm a shark. I'm going to be a caterpillar. Bam, I'm a caterpillar. I could be whatever I want because I'm magic. Yeah, that's much better than a bird, don't you think?" Both Vaya and Heidi had to agree that Cherry was onto something very special. Being a magical animal, or, comes to think of it, a magical person even, that could just switch and change and morph into something else whenever they thought about it, would be pretty darn cool. After talking for quite some time, Cherry, just all of a sudden, without no warning, fell asleep. Heidi got quiet and carried on reading her book. And Vaya carried on doing her toenails and her little claws, making them look pretty, shaping them and filing them and painting them. And life just went on in the cat's house. The end.